Old Grognard says, let's learn how the Detect Noise thieving skill works in 2nd edition AD&D. Detect Noise is one of the 8 special skills associated with the Thief class that we refer to as thieving skills. Detect Noise is interesting because it is a skill that is available not only to the Thief and Bard classes, but to everyone else as well, albeit to a lesser degree. I'll explain how that works in just a bit. Here's a quick overview of thieving skills for those that aren't familiar with how they work. Thieving skills differ from non-weapon proficiencies in that they are represented by a percentage chance of success instead of a d20 roll. When using them, a percentile roll equal to or less than the skill percentage is a success, with a roll that is higher being a failure. No skill can be higher than 95%, regardless of bonuses, or in other words, a roll of 96 to 100 is always a failure. With that brief introduction out of the way, let's dive into Detect Noise. We find the text describing Detect Noise on page 40 of the PHB. It says that a thief can hear faint sounds to a greater degree than ordinary people. This ability is not automatic. The thief must stand still and concentrate for 1 round. This requires silence in their surroundings, and they must remove their helmet or hat. Sounds on the other sides of barriers, such as doors or walls, will be muffled and unclear at best. However, to get the whole picture, we need to go to page 129 in the DMG and read the block of text titled Listening. I'll go ahead and just read the first paragraph, then summarize what I can from here on out. One of the useful tricks that smart adventurers learn after a few trips into deadly dungeons is to pay attention and listen for strange noises. Noise is a valuable clue, alerting characters to possible danger and even occasionally giving them a definite picture of what dangers they face. After rashly bashing down a door only to discover a barracks full of unruly orcs, the players may find it more prudent to stop outside and listen before trying the same stunt again. In the next paragraph, it tells us that all characters have this ability equal to a first-level thief. Further down the page is table 83, which shows the Detect Noise percentages for each of the character races in the PHB. It also has the percentages converted to d20 rolls, so if you want to do it that way, they're there. The next paragraph after that reiterates what we were told earlier about the conditions for listening, that being the character standing still as possible, everyone nearby being still and quiet as well, and the listener taking off their hat or helmet. Let me insert an old Grognard opinion here. Since the DMG doesn't mention, quote, regular characters, unquote, having armor penalties, I don't put them on the thief or bard either. I think if we did apply penalties to everyone, it would just be a bunch of work that would make the game more complicated without adding anything. But that's just my opinion. Do what you feel is right for you and your table when you run your game. Back to page 129 of the DMG. The suggestion we get for less than ideal circumstances is that they don't change the percentage chance of success, but that they instead degrade the quality of what is heard. So if the door is extra thick, you roll the same percentage to hear what's on the other side, but what you hear is more muffled and indistinct. Players may be asked by the DM to make listening or detect noise checks in situations where the player doesn't declare that they're using the ability. I'll just read the paragraph the DMG has for us, since it's fairly short and I don't think we'd gain anything from paraphrasing it. In some cases, a check is necessary even when the character is not attempting to discern some unknown noise. The character tries to hear the shouted words of a pirate captain over a raging storm. They can see the captain and clearly tell the man is speaking. Indeed, the captain may even be speaking to them. However, a hearing check should be made to find out if the character can make out the captain's words over the fury of the storm. If the character were a little closer, the storm a little less, or the captain's lungs exceptionally strong, the character's chance of success would be increased. After this, we are reminded that it takes time to listen, in this case, however long it takes for the captain to talk. Otherwise, the default is 1 minute. Unlike some other thief skills, a character can make repeated attempts to listen or detect noise. However, if a character fails an attempt, further attempts only have a chance of success if the circumstances of the check improve in some way, like the character moves closer, opens the door, or something else to improve their situation. If a check is successful, a player can keep rolling to see if they can gain more information, such as how many creatures they hear, what they are, which way they're moving, or even bits of conversations if they are talking. The player states what they want to learn, the DM decides what the possible outcomes might be, and then the player rolls if the DM deems it necessary. At the very end of the text, it warns against letting players abuse this ability. It doesn't give them super microphone listening device powers. It would have been nice if on page 40 under Thief Skills they made reference to the listening section in the DMG, but at least now you know and can reference it later if you feel the need. Again, if you want to read for yourself, the rules for the Thief class and Detect Noise are on pages 38 through 40 of the PHB, and the rules for listening are on page 129 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. That covers the Detect Noise skill and the rules for listening in 2nd edition AD&D. Thanks for watching. Old Dog Nard, who's really good at detecting noises, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day.